I cannot believe that just made it out of the group chat. That round of golf was so funny.
How'd it go? Was it a nice course?
Honestly, we thought it was going to be a goat track, but it was kind of a chilling venue.
What'd you
Okay.
pay?
What?
What'd you pay?
18, but that's because one of them worked like there, so we got a huge discount. It's like 45 per round.
We were looking at Tobacco Road just for shits. Guess what it costs to play?
Three. Oh no, it's Pinehurst week. I'd say it's about 380 probably in this time of year, but since it's Pinehurst week, probably 600.
Yeah. It was 280 next week. All the tee times are booked.
I can't imagine what it was to play this week, bro.
Yeah. They said they had tee times and they booked them up a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Um,
Did you say you used Rory twice?
I have used Rory twice.
I marked him once.
Yes.
Wow. What am I doing?
Used them very early on, to be fair.
Rory. Wow. You could try to scan the system and see it. Who else did you use the second week of your Rory use? Let's see. Brooks and Xander.
I think I've used Xander twice.
Yes. I don't know why I didn't
I've
like
used the Brooks once.
Interesting.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Alright.
We're getting it up. Hold on 1 second.
Oh gosh.
Good D.
Hopefully the echo is not too bad. I am in a hallway because it's the only spot with a desk, but it still kind of chills.
Yeah, we don't hear anything on our end.
Good. That's why you buy a good mic, I guess.
Hear that?
Did you guys bring your mics?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got one set up here
Great. I can hear you both very good. So very well.
as well.
Thanks to the JLab cam.
Good D. Works on him. Tatum. Jab. Step back.
All right, Dan, you want to get up on the Instagram?
Yes, sir.
We have our beers in the fridge.
You want yours?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great to see.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Most likely, it really is incredible how many beers you pull out of your ass, like just brands that like I've never
Me?
seen before. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, I paid $7 for this. We stopped at the liquor store. On our way back from Pinehurst.
Well done.
Freaking where Dan's from, there's this brewery called Founders in Michigan that's like one of the best breweries in the freaking country that they had here because it's like that good. Ooh,
I maybe dunking on anybody.
Who is that?
Fucking Gafford.
You want to sip and try it?
Yeah, sure. Let me.
Your thoughts? Yeah.
Tatum.
It's a very good beer.
It might be the Tatum game, folks. Might be the Tatum.
Oh, he's got 18.
My dad asks, what kind of beer are those?
This is
Yes.
so this is from Other Half Brewery in Brooklyn. It's called All Citra Everything. It's one of their like house brews. It's a double dry hopped Imperial India Pale Ale.
Oh, well done.
Yes, very good beer. To your father, if you wanted to. You could probably find Other Half in Massachusetts. If they have it in North Carolina, I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah. Hold on. I forgot I don't have to go get that.
Hopefully, it's a lot better than $7 a beer, which is outrageous. But
is that what's the open selling for?
no, it's like $11, I think. Pinehurst.
Great.
Well, West Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, we should be up and going well before.
You like it though?
I do.
Oh, beer.
Okay. He post.
Did
Put it on the story.
you tag me? Maybe.
I did not.
I'll talk about it.
Because then you can repost it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Wish you would let me
create-
do it. Sorry.
That's all right. I'll mention.
Electric. Your man Daquan commented chills, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know where he's from in Maryland? Maybe.
I do not. I'll ask him.
Gotcha. I'm quite
No.
curious.
Rebound the ball. Dang it. Dang it.
Quite curious where Mr. Daquan from.
Oh, is Kyrie cooking?
Ew.
I think we are good to go.
Did you see his first row?
Yeah, Mahomes. Kyrie is cooking. Hauser.
Alpha man.
Dude, Hauser's what? 3 for 3? Come on, Fed. Come on.
Celtics stuff.
My dad responded to me. Great to hear. IPA, thumbs up emoji.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think we're good to go.
Cool.
We will, after I eat my Bojangles, we will figure out the Spotify thing. I've had a few people ask about that because some people listen on Apple Podcasts.
We're working on it, folks.
We're working on it. But for now, YouTube's got everything. So we'll work on that after because we would like to get this episode out. But for now, I've given you permissions, Jordan. We should be good to go.
That's on Dan's computer, so.
All right.
Record?
Well,
Yes.
Sorry.
all right.
We ready? You
Yep.
start, Bob.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Well, folks, it's here. One of the weeks we've been looking forward to for a while. I think we kind of fumbled the announcement. We there were a lot of uncertainties, but we are here, and this has been in the cards and talked about for a while. Not just us, but a lot of the community on golf Twitter. So it's really cool. One of the great historic spots in the country for American golf. For our nation's championship, 127 episode 127 of the Go Get That Pod. Dan and Jordan are at their hotel about, I think, 20 miles away from me. We're a little bit far away. We would have loved to do it all in one spot, but it really never would have worked. 3 people in one camera, but at least we have them. They're 2 pretty faces ready to go.
We were shocked that 2 guys on one camera worked. We were happy when Dan.
Yeah, no, it looks great. It looks great. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. I mean, we can get into
Truly
it.
is.
We've both been down there at Pinehurst now for what, 2 days?
A day and a half, yeah.
Day and a half-ish. Yeah. Got to see Spieth play 9 today, which was cool. So for me, like I the only tournament I've ever been to is the Rocket Mortgage Classic. So this is a level
That's
up.
great.
Got to see
Yeah, that's
Tiger
great.
hit some balls today. Xander, Ludwig, Max, obviously Jordan. So this has been an awesome treat so far, and really, really excited for tomorrow because I think that we'll talk about the course. It looks fantastic. This is going to be a fun watch on all of the NBC affiliates, especially the streaming service.
Thank you for that.
Yes. Very well said. Yeah, it's oof. I've been to countless tournaments. I know Jordan has as well. This is my second US Open, really. Jordan, what's this for you? Number 4?
Major?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's cool. I mean, I was talking to to Jet, who I'm here with, about like what I think's or no, it was you, Jordan. I was talking to you about this about Brookline versus here, about what's more fun to go to. And the thing about this course is like this course just like you don't see anywhere else. Like there's nothing like this. The way that the rough is put together and like or not even the rough, but the waist area. Just any the off the fairway, like the miss off the fairway is so different than anywhere else. Greens you don't really see much. I mean these turtleback greens are something, man. I mean there are some slopes that TV just does not do justice that I've gotten to see. So it's really cool. Like I mean everything about this golf course and this historic like spot. Um, I'd say is probably even a more cool experience than Brookline. I mean, Brookline's sick. I mean, Brookline's a great golf course. One of the better US Open venues, I truly believe. But there's just so many more people here than there were at Brookline. Like the atmosphere is just different. Um, I can't speak badly about it at all. Like this course was made for championship golf, and it's gonna play tough. I'm sure Dan Jordan can touch on what they heard from Mr. Bones out there today, but it appears that it's going to be a tough championship. So yeah.
Yeah, we stopped by, what was it, 16T, and just right out there with chilling in his cart was Bones Mackay, legendary caddy. So we had to stop by and ask him a couple questions. Got a selfie as well, of course. He thinks the winning score is going to be even to 2 under.
If it doesn't rain.
So if it doesn't rain, which it's not projected to as of now, but I keep telling people that it's so hot that I feel like a pop-up storm is very much possible. So hopefully if that comes, it passes rather quickly. Because I tell you right now, the greens are running so quickly. Like we'll get into Spieth's 9 holes here in a second, I'm sure.
I think they're at 13 and a half.
But
is what John Bodenheimer, who works for the USGA, said they're going to run it like 13 and a half.
Which is crazy. And you watch
people hype up like Stimps a lot, but like Augusta rolls at like a 14. So this is like that fast. Most tour courses are around 11. Like this is faster than you see most like places. What?
They're cranked up.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It truly is insane. Like people throw around like 13 green stimps. I bet we haven't seen greens hit 13 more than 5-6 times in the last few years on the tour. Like you just don't see that number get actually hit ever. And like there are some spots that you can't miss out here. Like there are some spots even on the greens. They were doing something on Golf Channel. That I remember seeing a clip of that we might have talked about there. Like the actual size of the greens of where you can hit it to and it not roll off.
Yeah.
They're so small. Like they're smaller than basically anywhere. Like the square footage Dan was saying like are pretty big, but like all of the edges of the greens are not playable. Like a ball will never be there. They'll just roll off into the nearest flat. So it's cool. It's really only possible to have a course like this on grainy greens just because like you can have like into the grain slopes that make it a lot more feasible for them to stay playable. And because there's some spots where if it was just slopes, like balls wouldn't hold greens ever here. So it's really cool. I can't even hype up the course enough. Like it's looking to be one of the coolest like major venues I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like obviously I remember the Keimer US Open, but like it was such a blowout that like it and there's potential for that this week. I think there's potential for some extreme separation. Because I do believe there will be a 5-6 under tomorrow. I there will be a 6 under tomorrow. But there will be plenty of scores in the 80s. I'd assume tomorrow. And I believe that whatever the low score is tomorrow will not be that. I believe there's zero chance that it gets past that for the winning score. I'd say like if someone goes out and shoots 64, leads not the winner's not shooting past that. It'll get harder as the week goes on. We'll see if they continue to crank up the greens by watering them, like kind of prohibiting them a bit. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna lose the golf course. They continue to water it, but that doesn't mean that it's playing easy. Anything around the greens is pretty difficult. We were watching Spieth and even Burns today as they were playing a practice 9. A lot of putter, a lot of different wedges kind of going around the greens. You got to go upstairs, you got to bump it into the hill, you got to putt it. And I think, Bob, you said this about, I mean, specifically for Spieth, but if you get putter in your hand 14 times around, that's a pretty good, that's a pretty
That's the
good
key.
round.
No, like,
and if you want to expand on that.
Yeah, no, like nobody will be immune to these greens. Like Scotty Scheffler is not going to go out there and hit 14 greens a day. Like that's not going to happen. It's going to be about getting putter in your hands 14 times. Like if you're off the green in one of the like the bailout areas, like the funnel downs, like those, like you can putt from there. That's what Keimer did. That's how Keimer made his way around the golf course. Like those spots are fine. And there are worse ones than some are worse than others. But if you can have putter in your hands 14 times, that's good. And I hinted at this because I'm sick, obviously, but we've seen Spieth take putter a little more recently from off the greens. And that might just because of the wrist, but it makes you wonder, man. Like it makes you wonder if he was thinking about the fact that he'd have to do that a lot this week, and that's why he's done it recently. Jordan kind of gave me like a little smirk when I said that to him on the putting green because he seemed like he wanted to believe it, but he didn't. But it you never know. You never know.
Never know.
Yeah. But and this truly is like it really does stink that Spieth's playing the way he has been coming in because this is as good as a major venue can U.S. Open venue can get for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it fits his game so well. The normal Spieth game. I mean, around the greens is the entire tournament essentially. Like no one's gonna like the fairways. There's such a penalty for missing the fairway, but it's gonna be like wing foot where you can't like you can't, how do I say it? Like you just can't hit every fairway. Like they're too small. It's not like they're wide. Like Chambers Bay, where if you missed the fairway, you were dead, but the fairways were incredibly large. Like that's not the case. Like everyone's gonna miss fairways. Everyone's gonna make a lot of bogeys. Everyone's gonna. Dude, I watched someone like we watched the guy basically lay up into the bunker on 2. Like there are gonna be some spots that players are playing to that aren't anywhere near the hole. Like it's all about making the score this week. It's all about getting yourself in a position to make big par putts, and that's what they've been saying on Golf Channel. Like who's going to make the most par putts is who's going to win this tournament. Like that's what's going to come down to. And yeah, Spieth, if he gets putter in his hand 14 times, he's going to have lost 6-footers. He's going to have to make for par just because it's hard to judge the speed out of the grainy, around the green tight lies. But like, it's going to be who can make most par putts this week, and that's kind of the golf course we saw today. And I think all three of us basically are on the same page. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting test that we really haven't seen.
Yeah, and to that point, especially on the green, Spieth was there for probably 30 to 40 minutes before his 9 today, working on 5 to 6 footers, but then especially speed control, because you can run your ball 4 to 5 feet by these holes pretty quickly, and to that point, I think you're gonna see a lot of 20 footers, even 15 footers come up short because guys are scared of hitting it too hard and having it go 3 feet by the hole, which either is 10 feet or it's all the way off the green. Like degreening is a very real possibility. And obviously they've seen it in practice rounds, but I think even in tournament rounds, guys, there's not very many putts that you can be aggressive with. No. So you're going to see a lot of, particularly with Spieth, a lot of strokes that look a little bit defensive.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
you will take 2 putts from 20 feet, and if it goes in the hole, it goes in the hole. That's great, but I don't expect a lot of 20-footers going.
There aren't going to be a lot of
coverage this week.
shots, period, that you can get aggressive with. Like,
Either
but there
way.
are also the thing that makes this course so great is there are going to be shots that also you have to get aggressive with because the course leaves like the pin leaves you no choice but to be aggressive to a certain spot. And Tiger did talk about that, like when he's very aggressive and hitting his spot. Like that's where like the pins will not tell the story this week. Like where the pins are is not where people are going to be firing. There's many different ways to play this golf course, but it demands a lot, and there aren't many holes that you're going to be able to get away, with bad shots. And someone said in the chat, they said, how many false fronts is Spieth gonna hit tomorrow? And this is one of the weeks where like, man, like spinning it off a false front is going to be like one of the best misses you can find to some of these front pins.
Yeah.
Like there are times when being like running off the false front and having just a really uphill putt is better than being 35 feet past the hole. Like that's just the reality of this golf course and what some of these downhill putts demand from above the hole. So honestly, the spinning it off the false fronts could help him this week.
I mean, I only really walked the front 9.
Yeah, I walked the
Couple
front today
times.
back yesterday.
And you can if you're just off the back of 1, it's not too bad. And if you're just off the back of 6, I think it's not too bad. But everywhere else, if you're off the back of 8, good luck. You have no shot. Back of 9, you're going to be hitting
nine's a hilarious hole.
You're going to be hitting it pretty much straight downhill after your chip shot or your putt or whatever it is from the back of that green. I think there's a bunker back there, so
yeah,
that'll be a tough shot. But my goodness, like short is for the majority of this, at least the front 9, and I think the golf course, just keep it where you can see it, and I think you'll be relatively okay. All of the big red X spots in the yardage book are probably on the back. There was a moment on 8 when Spieth was playing his practice round and just kind of throwing balls around back left, and he tried to bump it into the hill to a kind of a back left pin 3 times and failed all 3 times pretty miserably. Two like came back to his feet, 1 went over the other side of the green, and I thought he hit I think he clipped all 3 of them the way he wanted to. Right. So that's just kind of shows you, and his short game has looked good. And we should get into his game, the 9 holes that we saw at some point, but short game looked very good. And I thought he hit 3 pretty darn good shots, and they all were not on the green. And that was just trying to bump it into the hill. He then went upstairs with it and hit a beautiful shot. But you really have to play the required shot, and there's some spots that you just cannot miss at, or you're going to do well to make a 5, because you could easily make a 6, come back to your feet. And I hope they show that on the coverage, because I think there will be a lot of coming back to the feet, and that's sick. So
there will be some ping pong this week, and that's really cool, because like you just don't, like, these guys are so good. Like you just don't ever see that. Like I watched Phil green some putts yesterday, and like, sorry about the video. And like that's something you see once out of the entire field every like 3 weeks on tour. Like you just don't see putts greened in regular events, just because it's like they're so good. But the course, like the whole design of this course was to demand things out of these players they never see. Like you're never going to find a lie as unpredictable and challenging a yard off the fairway as you'll see this week. Because you can miss 10 yards right of the fairway and be in a much better spot than 1 yard off the fairway.
Yeah.
And there's really no barrier between them. Like if the fairways get firm on those dog legs, like you're going to see balls land in the middle of the fairway and trickle into some of the toughest lies on the golf course, which is going to be pretty cool to see.
Burns on 4 today. Did you see Burns on 4?
I did. That was funny.
He missed the fairway by a yard into like the tall grass. He hit it out the tall grass. It went straight left into more tall grass.
Yeah, it had hit
and he
It
missed the
went,
fairway by a yard.
yeah, it went. He tried to hit like a 5 wood or something out of
It
it,
did not work.
and it went basically straight up and left, kind of over my head, and hit a tree and dropped down into the rough.
Yeah.
Like it was a pretty bad miss. So what I will say about the kind of rough just off, for the most part, you can still see the ball and make decent contact, so you can advance it. But the problem is then you're at the mercy of the course because it's hard to control where it's going to end up out of there. So you could leave yourself in a really tough spot on that second.
Yeah. I watched someone yesterday have, what would you like? The landing zone on 18, you probably have a short iron or a wedge in. It's not like a long hole.
I mean, Rory had lob wedge in.
Yeah, I saw someone hit it left into the landing zone into that stuff. And I watched him hook one into the grandstands and look at the club. I mean, the grass just like he thought it was a clean lie, and the grass behind him just completely turned over his club. And it ended up in the grandstands left, which is like 40 yards left of the green. Just because he started it trying to play a fade, and the club face was just at the mercy of the grass behind it. And like that's just like you just never see that type of stuff, man. Like even the thick lies on tour, like thick and like tough lies on tour, like it's all of the uncontrolled variables are mostly distance. Like they all know how to control the direction it's going in from that long rough everywhere on tour. It's the distance, it's the jumpers that get to you. Here, there are going to be some club faces turned over. There's going to be so much doubt in the players' minds. It's truly going to be like, I don't even like, what do you guys think's like comparable to this? Like, what's the closest thing we see to
This
Pinehurst?
place? Ooh,
Yeah.
that's why I said when I was talking to you today, like it's just so different.
Like it's incredible how different this golf course, and it's almost a different like sport, man.
Yeah, it really
Like
is. I guess like maybe the Aussie courses, but we don't really get to see them. But, like I was talking to you, like Brookline when we went a couple of years ago, like Oakmont's going to probably be pretty similar.
Yeah.
This place is like it's so different.
Yeah.
I think we were watching live from earlier, and Paul McGinley was like saying the Australian courses. That's probably the closest comp we have,
Yeah.
besides Congaree, which we've seen like what twice.
Yeah.
It's very different. It's fun though.
Yeah. No, it is a lot of fun. You got to be very, I think Hovland said it best, aggressive off the tee and then conservative into greens.
Yep, that's the quote of the week for
I
me.
think if you can shoot even to 1 under every day, you feel really, really darn good about yourself. And it's doable. Because it's not like you can't hold these greens, you know, you just have to hit really good shots over and over and over again and know what the right spots are to hit. Because there's certain parts on greens that are more playable than others. And if that's where you're going to be, that's, you know, kind of where you're going to be. It'll be a lot of, I don't think there will be a lot of like technical 60-foot putts where guys are on the green from 60 feet away. It'll be more like 60-foot putts from off the green where they're going up ridges and slopes. And, I mean, Bob, you were saying like some of the surrounding, if you get it down grain in the stuff kind of right off the green, that's still running like a 7 or an 8, which, you know, for a lot of, you know, people that just play on the weekends, that's kind of what those greens are.
Like an 8 at a normal course is like that. That's a respectable speed. Like we were talking about, like when you get a down grain putt on some of these tight lies around the greens, I heard the people on Golf Channel talking about how it's running at an 8. Like for like reference, the Open at Liverpool, the one that Spieth contended in 21. Yeah, that was
St. George's.
St. George's. That was running at a 7. Now greens over there obviously run different because the greens are fescue and that grass grows longer, and it's more fuzzy. But these down, like people who don't play golf in the area, which I didn't know. Dan's obviously never seen. Like I didn't see until I went to Arizona. Like the grain affects these putts so much. Like the way that the grass, like the direction the grass is cut, affects it more than the slopes do. And when you get something downhill, down grain, like that stuff just will not stop. Like that's running so fast, even in just the lies around the greens. So it's some insane stuff you're going to see this week. It truly is not comparable to anything else, I don't think. People are asking how long we're staying for. We'll be here all week. I hopefully we get to see four days of Jordan Spieth golf.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that earlier.
But yeah, let's talk about Jordan Spieth.
Well, if that's your worry, today's 9 holes didn't look like a guy that's been slumping too. I mean, was it great?
No, he
No.
looked
He missed one fairway. He reloaded for an iron shot once, which was a 3-iron on the 5th hole in like a 200 30-40 yard shot.
Yeah, and the first one wasn't that.
Yeah, it wasn't even that bad. Hit it well. Dan and I really didn't watch the chipping and the putting too much, just because it's like
looked pretty good though.
Yeah, it's tough to judge, and I guess a practice round because you're hitting so many chips, and he wasn't fully reading the putts.
Yeah,
he didn't really make any, to be fair, but he wasn't putting a whole lot of time into it. We were concerned with the ball striking.
Yeah,
which for the most part looked pretty darn good.
So this is my first time seeing Spieth in person. I'm usually pretty optimistic, right? That's kind of been my calling card over the past few months. If you had no idea kind of what his numbers looked like over the past few months, you'd kind of assume that the putting might be the issue. He didn't make anything today. And I know he's not, looking at the putt super long, but we watched him putt for quite a while on the short ones. I think the stroke looks fine. I think he's just misreading some of them, and that's a bit of a concern, but obviously the approach play is a concern. I think he hit 5 greens and had putter on 7 of the 9. So it was better. There were some good long irons today. The wedges were all good though. I think the wedges were all inside of 15 feet from kind of that 130-ish range. I'd say
good. 7 was good.
Yeah, good wedge on 3, good wedge on 7. One was fine. One was probably the worst of the iron shots. 6 was a good iron shot, just rolled off the front. 9 was a great iron shot.
8 was pretty solid.
8 was very solid, green, just a little short.
Spot.
And from what I saw, he was just making a much better pass at the ball. Like it looked more confident. The legs were moving better. I couldn't tell you much about. I never got quite a good look at where like the position of the club was, but he just seemed to be more like confident in the ball, in going through the golf ball, in rotation, and everything like that. And then the driver was still good. Only missed the one fairway on number 2. So encouraging. I think the expectations are still pretty low.
Yeah.
But he looked like he's starting to kind of work on it, and make some progress. The what's it called? The pre-shot was there before every shot, which I think is good.
It is good that it stayed like.
What would you even characterize it as? Not like like a take back. He's practicing.
Yeah, I mean it's not as like elongated as it was.
Yeah.
Got people who are watching will see it tomorrow. It's
similar to the one at Memorial, right?
Yeah. It's kind of the one he's been working on at Memorial. It's trying to get a little bit more shallow. Yeah, good passes. There's a one on Instagram that's really good. Jordan's got a couple good ones, and then Pierce Wallace 15 on Instagram. It's a good shout out to Pierce. But that's a good kind of down the line look at his swing, and it looks pretty darn good relative to
for sure
previous swings.
Just a consistency thing.
So we'll see how it goes. It was only 9 holes, but I think at worst today he shoots 1 over, and that's with making no putts. So I think if he makes one of those putts, it's a even par, maybe knocks in another one under kind of 9, which out here, well done. Looked pretty good. Birdie at 5, I'm not sure about, but he had good looks at 3 and 7 and kind of rushed those putts a little bit. The only bogey would have been at 2. He picked up an 8-footer for par, but 2's a tough hole. So if you have inside of about 8 feet for par out there, you're not doing yourself any
4
harm.
Really well. 4 is, for those in the chat, 4 is all you can eat. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it was into the wind today.
Oh my lord, that hole is brutal.
They were hitting.
Bob saw 4 too. It's good lord, that hole is hard.
4 is something, man. I mean, 4 is just like God, like you have to hit driver because it's so long, and the landing zone is just such a small fairway.
Yeah,
And like,
three of the guys, everyone in your Spieth group besides Spieth had lumber into a par four. It was what? Was it hybrids or three wood?
It
Five wood?
was hybrids and 5 woods, and Spieth hits a 4-iron to about 30 feet, and
I
then
mean,
drops another and
yeah.
hits it to about
that'll
10.
do.
So, yeah, it was he just looked a lot more confident. Like and Jordan was talking about this. He didn't reload after, like there weren't a lot of bad shots to reload after. There wasn't a whole lot of like dropping golf balls on the ground and re-hitting shots because they were so poor. Everything sounded relatively good. The results were pretty good. Just about, continuing that and then making some putts, obviously. So we'll see. But definitely, I think hopefully it translates, but it looked I have a bit more confidence than I did beginning the week about
Yeah, for sure.
as he could shoot.
Yeah, I mean, watching him on the first 2 holes was good. It looked like his mindset was pretty correct. The first Spieth we saw today was him missing like probably 8 or 9 straight 6-footers from the same spot.
Yeah, that was
That
tough.
wasn't fun. But yeah, that
I
was
think we're
that was
generally good
ridiculous.
strokes though. His speed control was fun to watch. Because that was
Yeah.
really good for the most part. And we'll see. I mean, because if you watched Friday at Memorial and had the volume on ESPN Plus, there, Will Mackenzie was saying he was flushing it on the range, and then obviously that did not translate. But I would, contend that he was doing quite well today, and we'll see if it continues to translate.
Yep.
Because in his prime, or at his best, this is a course that fits him. If you really think he's gonna win, I kind of hold back on that. But I think if he misses the cut, I think I'd be slightly surprised at this point. Is that fair? Based on the 9 holes we saw, if he replicates that 4 times, I think we'll love where he's at going into Saturday. Let me put it that way. I think that's a better way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the thing that we love about the US Open, right? Like Spieth does not have to go in with the mindset he's got to make things happen. If Spieth pars all 72 holes this week, I mean, there's a chance he wins. So like,
it's funny.
Like at the very least, if he's even through 54 holes, he's gonna have a really good chance on Sunday. So like, that's a much easier mindset to have. Obviously, it's a tough golf course, but like Spieth can make things happen. He doesn't have to go out there and make a crazy amount of birdies. Like, it's a feasible like mindset to have. So
it's feasible, yeah. I mean, I know at Brookline he didn't play Wednesday because he got sick, but I mean, he probably played better today than he did Wednesday at Liverpool last year, and I think he played better today than he did when I was at the 22 BMW. He looked good today. I really didn't have too many complaints because I kind of know, par on pretty much every hole besides maybe 2 is going to be the good score.
Yeah.
And he didn't really leave himself in troublesome areas on like any hole. Granted, it's a practice round that's 9 holes, and I'm sure. I mean, we saw Rory hit one shot today. It was on 9 to 4 feet, so I'm sure there's a lot of guys in practice rounds that are playing really well. But I definitely don't feel worse after what I saw today, which is a good thing.
yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and we got a couple autographs, which was nice.
Yeah.
Signed for the kids.
Bob, I tell you about your windbreaker. They didn't have a large again. They only had a small and a medium.
That's something you hate to see.
Yeah, I did look.
It's an impressive setup, man. Like I guess I wasn't really sure what to expect at a major, but PINEHURST is perfect for it, and it's been a really good job so far.
People have been cool here. If we got any North Carolina residents in the chat,
yeah, huge fans. I mean, the people in the South are just so much nicer.
Yeah, you guys are so much nicer than the people up north. I mean, Dan and I went out to eat last night, and we told them it was our first time at the restaurant, and they're like, appetizer on us.
Yeah.
Which was super cool. Super hospitable people down here, and then to have the whole
for sure
down here is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, and Dan, like, to speak to what I can't even imagine, like, The differences between Pinehurst and Detroit Golf Club is
Not much, not many.
like it is
Is Detroit
insane.
Donald Ross?
Detroit is Mr. Ross.
They're both the Ross
actually.
courses.
All right, so you'll see a lot of bunkers, I guess, at both courses.
Yeah,
but yeah,
Well, I do appreciate the bunkers they're still playable around the greens.
Yeah.
Like it's tough shots. You have to land it in certain spots and they're deep, but you can get some spin out of them. They're challenging, but not overly challenging. And I think they've hit the right note with those. We'll just kind of have to see, what goes on with these greens. Cause I'm telling you, like watching Spieth hit 8-footers, it was like, holy moly, like he barely took the club head back and the ball is a foot and a half past the hole. If he missed. So they're rolling. And this is going to be a fun week.
yeah, agreed. Triple double.
Yes.
Aren't you a member at Worcester Country Club?
I am.
Donald Ross just signed it.
Oh yes, it's one of his best, I'd say.
We
Of all the
have-
Donald Ross I've seen, I'd say that's Donald Ross masterpiece.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Masters has been held there too.
Yes. It's hosted. I mean, that's the most notable. The Ryder Cup is kind of a little bit below that.
Yeah,
that's the
up there.
second. Yeah.
Yes, the first ever Ryder Cup was held there, so very cool.
It's cool. I'm just looking at the courses he's designed, guys.
Oh no, he's definitely my favorite golf course design.
Pinehurst 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So kind of, I mean, Bob, you've probably seen more guys than Jordan and I have. Has anybody?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Kind of stuck out to you?
Well, I talked about how Burns was playing well yesterday. I didn't really see him today.
Spieth outplayed him today.
Yeah, Burns wasn't as good today. He does hit a nice ball. Like you hear it and it's flushed.
Better than the amateurs Spieth was playing. They were.
But Spieth won his group today. I don't if that makes you feel any better. So, but like I mean, you were watching a little bit of Phil.
Yeah, Phil looked great. Phil looked great. Hideki did not.
Like genuinely great.
No, yeah. No, like it could be Phil's time.
It wouldn't shock me.
Dude, if he's ever gonna do it, it's gonna be here. So like
no, I agree.
Like he can just pull stuff off around the greens that could legitimately like win in the tournament with such mediocre ball striking. So you just never know.
Phil's got as many green boxes on Data Golf this year as Spieth. I mean, Phil's got a T6 at Jeddah.
Yeah, from what I saw of, who was it? Homa looked good. Saw a couple of Max Homa shots, and he hit the center of the club face. So come on, it's the Celtics. They're always up 8 and they blow it. But no, it's exciting. It really is. It's gonna be a fun tournament. We also talked to Bones about.
Oh, so fun.
We asked them like, who do you think is primed to win the trophy this week, and he said a little take it for what it is, but he said give me Scheffler and Schauffele and you can have the field.
Yeah, it's good. It's well.
He also said to Dan, which was funny, and he's like, "Have you seen anyone this week?" And he's like, "Well, besides the obvious."
Yeah,
so it's like
yeah, Scheffler. I think even to guys that watch pro golfers all day, every day, Scheffler's on a different planet than these dudes, and you kind of know that based on his numbers.
It's
and
cool to hear
results.
Bones say it, though.
But yeah, for a caddy that's won 5 majors to be like, yeah, this dude is just in a different category than
really cool
everybody else, should tell you something.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna pick Hideki this week.
The whole thing.
I was too, but then your report kind of made me a little worried about him. He also didn't look great at the range when I watched him briefly.
No, yeah, he looked like he was soul searching, frankly.
So for people which for Hideki might be a good thing, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that.
But for people, Xander has been grinding, and some of his wedge shots on the range when we were watching him were not the cleanest, to say
No,
the
they
least.
weren't.
So it Xander will be interesting because Shane Lowry said it's going to be a who makes the most 12 footers for par this week.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings in a lot of guys that maybe you might not think are
Yeah.
usually in this field, but I think that brings in a few guys that we're going to use in the triple double this week too. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping it top heavy like I have in recent weeks. I kind of skirted by early on. It might catch up to me at the end, but the purses just won't be as big, so I'm happy doing it now.
You already won.
Yeah.
You got your there.
What?
You got some big boys. Okay.
Yeah, no. So I've already I used Rom and Bryson at the last two majors for live guys. I'm using Brooks this event. Brooks looked like he's been also grinding.
It's not
He
sure.
played pretty well yesterday when he was playing with Phil, but at the end of the day, like this is just a course where like you don't even have to be that sharp with the irons. You just have to know what you're doing and know where not to miss. And that's something Brooks is just gonna do so well at this week. I'm not worried about that making me some money there. Xander, just because I haven't used him yet and I don't really know where else I could get that much of an advantage with the way he's playing. And then Sahith, I think that it'll take a lot of creativity this week. So those are my three. Sticking top heavy. I really thought I used Sahith twice, but
I love that.
guess I didn't. So
No, I love to hit this week. I mean, I can't use him because he's twice, but that's a good pick. Yeah, so Dan and I are rooming together this week, and we're also using two of the three same guys.
yes.
wow.
So, the two that we're both using Bryson and Morikawa.
Well done, probably.
Yeah, it's chalky, but I mean, I think they're the right plays, right?
Yeah. Well, so Bryson, I'm not gonna use him at the Open, and
Yeah.
he's been playing well. There is an element of distance here that I think is still very valuable.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And, with his clubs going so much farther than others, I think that is helpful. I'd also say that so for Colin, what's interesting is I've gone back and forth on him because these greens it's tough to chip around these greens. They're lightning fast. He's not the greatest tight lie chipper, and he's not the greatest, fast green putter. But the word on the grounds, and I haven't seen him, but he's been grinding, but in a different way than like on the swing. Like he and his caddy are working hard to understand the course and understand what spots to hit it in, what spots you can't hit it in, getting a lot of work on touch and feel. And you would think he's kind of due. He keeps running up to Scheffler, and we don't have a Scheffler, so we can't play him in the game. But it kind of feels like a decent spot to use Morikawa. Distance is helpful, but I don't think it's super like paramount because it's firm enough that the ball will release. And his irons are just so good that he could hit 13 greens around, and kind of.
If you're hitting 13 greens in the round, you're going to gain a lot of shots.
Right. No, exactly. And he can plot his way around that way. And then we've got a different third guy. So I'm going Cam Smith. That's
a great pick.
If it's a putter, making a lot of putts, Cam makes a lot of putts. And he won at St. Andrews, which I think is somewhat similar around the greens. Obviously, it's not as tight and as quick because the grass type is different. But you can get a putter on it. You can bump and run. You can take it up high. We've talked about how the course is a little bit Australian, some similarities there. Cam Smith, obviously an Aussie. He hasn't been playing great on live, but I think he's a kind of dude that likes to challenge himself with some up and downs. I'm not really expecting him to win, but I think if he's really on with the kind of the wedges in the putter, he could roll in a T6, and that's a lot of bank. The concern is the driver, and if you hit it off the fairway enough, you're probably going to end up in enough bad lies to make your life pretty difficult. But we'll see. You never know. So I'm rolling with him because I also don't really want to play him at Troon. So I think now's a decent time to use him. Good course fit. Yeah.
Bob, I don't think you could ever guess my third pick.
Not even gonna try if you're saying that because I'm usually
I'm going Sungjae Im. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going Sungjae.
yeah, I never would have guessed that. Not at all.
He's got 3 top 10s in his last 4 starts, which probably no one knows.
Wow.
He did miss the cut at the PGA, but he T8 at Memorial, T9 at the Schwab, T4 at Wells Fargo. Then he had a big win at the Worry Financial Group Championship. And
the sixth major.
The sixth major. He had a T12 at the Heritage. So he's been playing good golf. Flying under the radar a little bit. Good short game. Came in where in my model? 15th. Course fit was pretty neutral, but yeah. I couldn't really figure out who to freaking use for my third. I know Elise kind of likes Dean Burmeister. He was 17th in the model. I know Dan went Cam Smith. Model loves the Australians. Minwoo's 12th in mine. Jason Day 13. So yeah, this could be an Aussie week. Not that they'll win, but wouldn't be shocked to see some Australian flags towards the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost kind of a fumble from me with the Cam Smith, man. I mean, I've been so high on him this week. He's one of the guys I've seen play really well through the probably 5 holes I watched him yesterday. Man, like, yeah, that's a great pick, Dan.
Oh, you used Sungjae already.
I haven't really seen Sungjae play yet. Something I was kind of shocked to see that I haven't really noticed is Sungjae's like, my dad kind of pointed this out to me too when he went to the Memorial last week. Like, he's super short.
He's stubby.
He's like pudgy.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
I when I was at Liverpool, I saw him going into the player hotel. I called out to him and he waved at me. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's been playing good. No one's is he gonna win? Absolutely not. But he's gained off the tee in what is that? 9 straight.
Yeah, and then the other one's a win, so probably 10 straight.
Yeah, he's not gonna win, but for a placement bet,
yeah,
absolutely.
No, exactly.
His major history is kind of weak, but
but you never know. Pinehurst is different than
yeah.
all the major venues, so maybe this is his time to.
Yeah, and he's starting to play some good golf.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, no, for
I would
sure.
agree.
I couldn't figure out who to use for the third spot though either. Cam Smith's okay. He also shot 80. He shot 1 million on Sunday.
Yeah.
Not that I put a ton of stock into that, but
yeah.
Cam Smith's 28th in Mr. Model.
Where did Cam Smith shoot 1 million?
Live Houston.
Oh, he's just getting all the bad stuff out for.
I did like Minwoo this week. I do think Minwoo could play some good golf this week.
Yeah,
I think he's a great course fit. Would not shock me if Minwoo's played well in majors, right, Dan?
Minwoo's been relevant at some majors. I feel like his name's been on the Masters leaderboard a few times, although the finish hasn't been great.
That's well.
And he makes putts too. That's the other thing. Man, if you roll in an 8-footer early and you feel good on these greens, as fast as they are, they're still so pure. Right? You get it started on the right line, and I think you'll feel pretty good about where the ball's going to end up. So, if you're reading them early and good early, then you could do some damage on the
for sure
on the scoreboard. But that being said, I think it still ends up 5 or 6 at the best, unless the rain comes or dominates.
I agree.
That's always the card that could be played.
So. Yeah, let's see if anyone in chat has any questions, because I know people were asking for a Q&A given we were there. Will Jace make cut based off what you saw today? Yes.
What was the question?
Will Jay Smith make the cut? I say yes. Based on what we saw today, yeah, it looked a lot better.
You should freaking make the cut.
I think he knows what this course demands of him.
He's been here since Sunday. You would really hope. Maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say yes. I don't think it'll be contention, but I do think he makes the cut. Yes, it's where I'm in an Airbnb. They're in a hotel. Um, Pinehurst is, of course, prime. Spieth would dominate that. Would agree.
Played well here in 14.
Yeah,
Yep.
T17. He was like T10 going into the weekend. At 1 under, by the way, which is chills.
Yeah.
But
Do you think it?
9 back.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, man. Do you think it will play kind of linksy? No.
I don't think you can run balls onto greens like that because the
No, you
false
can't.
fronts are so severe.
You really can't.
But I think linksy in the around the green kind of stuff. I would
Yeah,
say.
that's well said.
Like in your chip shots and that kind of stuff, it'll be linksy, but not necessarily approaching the green.
And
Not-
just like,
They're not the fairways aren't like running. They're just kind of you're getting a pretty firm hop and you're getting an extra 15 or so.
yeah.
So linksy around, but not really the rest of the.
Yeah, and also the way that the grains cut in the fairways will depend on your bounce. Like if you hit a drive into a spot that's into the grain, it could stop on a dime. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's gonna play too linksy. Um,
No, I don't see Linksy,
yeah.
but it's definitely not your typical US Open, which is cool.
From what I've seen, luck is going to come into play more and more than most other tournaments. That's a very good take.
I think that's a good take.
No, yeah, like when you miss the fairway, you're at the mercy of wherever your ball rolls to.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
still can't believe freaking that ball from Burns earlier. I mean, he just missed the fairway,
Yeah,
and it's in a bush, pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah,
It
no.
was-
And there's some gorse out there where you have to. I mean, there will be times where you'll have to take unplayables 5 yards off the
We spotted a
fairway.
little cactus yesterday.
Ooh,
That was a playable cactus, not
Yeah.
a Scottsdale cactus, but it
straight from my hometown. Yes.
the cactus was probably 70 yards off the center of the fairway,
was.
but
Great. So in play for Mr. Speed.
there's some players that could hit it over there. I'd presume.
Yeah. Haven't heard anyone I haven't seen anyone hit a pine tree.
Yeah.
No, Burns hit one that bounced and whacked the tree. That was a fun sound. I'm excited for the roars though. There's not a lot of roars at Detroit Golf Club. I'm expecting when sorry. When Phil is thrusting tomorrow, Spieth is thrusting tomorrow. I'm expecting some loud roars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really, really excited. It is not over, by the way. No, it is not.
Bob, I asked Dan this question earlier, and I do think Dan didn't think much about it. Do we think Scott Scheffler is within 3 shots of lead tomorrow? I think it's tough.
Depends. I think he shoots 2 under.
It's tough to say no, but like he's just so good, man. It's actually crazy. Like this stuff doesn't apply to him.
Yeah, I know that's a tough question. I think it really depends on where the lead is, man.
It's just so crazy when you look at betting odds and like he'll start slow and he'll still be the favorite.
Dude,
Like,
I think Scotty just like
he doesn't die.
another thing I've learned is anytime Scotty is in the afternoon wave, his odds get worse. So always wait if you're gonna bet him till the morning wave ends.
So Scotty, yes, 114. There's a few groups in front of Spieth. Congrats to what's his name?
Jack Suber.
Jack Suber for filling in for Ron J. Ham and featured in his first event, in his first major. Is it his first major?
I'd have to think so.
So congrats to him.
Lower in the data golf rankings than Kelly Craft.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. I think there might be a couple asterisks on this tournament.
No Gooch.
One being no Kelly Craft and no Taylor Gooch, I think is doing the people a disservice.
Oh,
sure.
How is Suber in the field?
And so
He's played 3 PGA Tour tournaments.
And so the other thing being that
Had to be local qualifying.
it could be qualifying. All other majors and all other tournaments, honestly, other than the 2022 Rocket Mortgage have an asterisk because I wasn't there.
He's never remembered the cut
So-
PGA Tour tournament.
Okay. So yeah, it may be a 77 out of the Super Camp
Dude,
tomorrow.
we could see a higher score than 77 tomorrow.
Well, okay, so that was the other
That's
thing.
incredible.
Jordan and I were trying to figure out if somebody shoots a 90 this week.
Yes,
You think so?
absolutely, 100%. I'd put so much money on that.
Interesting.
What's the high
I
score?
thought the high score tomorrow was an 86.
I think
Uh,
84 tomorrow, maybe.
But I think
When-
on Friday,
I think Friday we're gonna see a 90, man.
yeah, I think somebody just ejects and
I mean,
Like, if
wasn't
there's
there
a-
a
if there's a
guy?
back left
Wasn't
pin
there
on
a
eight-
guy in the 1999 U.S. Open that like was like tied for the lead on Friday night and like was 20 shots worse the next day, like something like that.
The highest
Like-
at Wingfoot was an 86. So take
Like
that.
if you just get boned all day,
Yeah.
like
Well,
you're so
I think on a Friday too,
What was
because
the score shot at
if you're
Shinnecock?
gonna miss the cut, you lose a little fight, and then you just kind of degreen. Like if there's a back left pin on 8, and you hit the center of the green and get a little greedy with your putt, you are making a 7 if you take your medicine. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous how hard it is.
I shot 85 at Shinnecock. 85-78.
Nice. Okay, so somebody shot a 92 at Shinnecock.
92.
Oh,
Scott Gregory.
congrats to Scott Gregory. If we could see a 90 this week.
No, I think we're going to. I'll take 90s.
Got 80 plus at Shinnecock.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Like 20 guys shot 80 or higher at Shinnecock the first round.
that's chills.
Yeah. But yeah. Do we
Yeah,
have any more?
any other thoughts? No, I'm just really excited. I mean, this is really
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, yeah, I'm already so tired. Like it's gonna be a long week, but it's gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
a
you
great
got the
week.
early alarm too because of the Phil group as well.
Yeah,
But
no, I'll be following Phil tomorrow.
That's chills.
Yeah, it'll
We'll
be
get a fist pump tomorrow, I'd assume.
I mean, it's just so much fun, man, because like Phil, like for those first 3 holes, there's just so much hope. Like there's such a chance. And then we'll die. I mean, Phil's gonna de-green some putts this week. Like that's just gonna happen. But
Yeah.
you never know, man. Like what if he de-greens a putt and then like chips in the next one? Like then it just could be his week.
yeah,
I
I'm
think-
calling a Jay Spieth chip in one of the first 2
That'd be
days.
really cool.
Or make from off the green, I'd agree. But yeah.
Well, yeah, that's off the end. Off the
Oh yeah,
green.
he's been really familiarizing himself with this golf course recently. So
He's been here since
He's been
Sunday.
here forever.
I
He
know.
missed the rigs.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
a funny way to
well
put
said.
Just a great thing. But
Yeah,
it.
but yeah,
No. Very excited. Was Mr. McCormick there? Of course.
of course.
But he didn't. But I like I keep saying, like Spieth did not. He did not look like he was like thinking very hard about his swing. Like he looked in a much better spot mentally.
I agree with that, 100%.
He looked pretty free, and I that's good. And again, expectations should not be that high. But
I think he'll be very focused this week.
I do too.
I hope.
There was a lightness about him that I think was encouraging.
Yeah, no, I agree.
focus is a good word.
Yeah,
Celtics
we
are
just gotta
fun.
hope those 6-footers fall, man.
Game over.
No, it's not, dude. The Celtics could blow a
It's
21
up
point
to-
lead.
they're up 21.
Celtics fans know that they could. blow.
And it's Celtics in 5 at absolute worst. It always has.
Yeah,
been.
it might be in 4 at this rate.
Yeah,
I don't know, brother.
Ryan's never ever gonna be in
If
six.
Ryan's still there, what do we think? Tiger shoots tomorrow. I don't know, Bob. Did you see any Tiger?
I saw him on the range. I'd say 74 tomorrow at a Tiger.
It'd be a good score for Woods.
Yeah,
I can't believe he's minus 310 to miss the cut. That's
I'll give him a 72.
okay.
I think he comes out sharp tomorrow.
Friday, but it'll be a 72 he pulls out of his ass.
No, 100%.
Like Friday could be a long day for.
It's gonna
for
be
Woods
warm
fans.
though. It's gonna be
Yeah.
warm, so his body will be looser than it usually is for the morning round, which is good. And it's I saw him hit a few balls at the range. Really, really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's been here even longer than Sunday, so he's
He
been here
looks
since
good.
Saturday. Yeah, so,
but you can the buzz that we've gotten though, just from hearing other people talk about it is like Scotty's dialed. Like,
Have we really heard that?
that's what I've heard.
Oh.
People they're like, dude, you got to watch Scotty play because it's just a different level.
Yeah.
At least on the range shots and then into greens and stuff. We'll see. Scheffler could lose a putting contest if that's what it turns into.
It's
But
very true. This is very true. I
could
do
also
not
run
think
away from
Scotty. I think Scotty could win by 10, but I also think that there's definitely a
Scott's
path
on
to
the bag,
him.
which is worse.
There's definitely a path to him not being dominant this week. Like there's a huge path to that.
yeah,
So yeah, let's see.
he's not gonna like eject from the tournament though. I don't think.
Yeah.
Even if he makes a triple, he may not win, but he's not gonna eject.
Yeah. I think one more question that came in. What's the cut gonna be?
I'd say 5 or 6
I'd
over.
say 7, maybe.
In that neighborhood, yeah.
There's a lot of players that qualify. Like, there's just a lot of players that just aren't very good that are already missed the cut.
Well
Yeah.
said. Well said.
I think
So yeah, I'd say
14
6 or 7.
In 14, it was 5.
It was.
I think Pinehurst wants a tough one.
They do.
I'm gonna say 6. I'll just like to pick a number because we think it's gonna play to 73 the first 2 days.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Is there a path for him to miss the cut? Of course.
Yes.
Oh, there's a path for him to shoot 80-80 for sure.
I mean, again, like
Have you seen him?
but even today, he didn't make anything.
who asked that question?
Take a
Viewer Alex Ellis.
Oh my.
Uh,
Come on, Ellis. Did you not just watch him? I
he's
mean,
46th in the data.
he shot 9 over in 2 rounds in his backyard golf course. I mean,
You guys have a top 10 in over 2 months.
come on with is there a path? That is incredible.
No, I mean we've been
He missed the
talking
cut
about him
last week, of
well.
course there's a
No, for Scotty. Sorry.
No,
Apologies.
No. He's
No,
like,
because I don't
Zero
think
chance.
for Scotty to miss the cut, I think he'd have to make like more than 2 doubles and one has to be a triple.
there's no chance.
And I just don't think he does. I think if Scotty playing bad would be like a 72 and a 71.
Scotty hasn't missed a cut since.
Yeah.
last year.
Apologies for the thinking you were talking about Spieth.
But
Yeah, most surprising name to miss the cut, I'll go Hovland.
Interesting.
Big name to miss the cut.
Yeah, big name to miss the cut.
I
I'll
like Holland.
say
Yeah, I like Holland.
that's very fair. Because he was grinding too. People were saying he's been
Yeah, I watched him really struggle he seemed visibly frustrated yesterday, I'll say that.
biggest name to miss the cut.
I like Hovland.
Yeah.
I think all the other big names will make the cut.
Pritchard just diced up Irving. Missed it. Anyway. If I gotta pick a big name to miss the cut, why not Shoffley? Screw
Oh,
it.
no way.
I don't know, man.
No
People
way,
are
man.
saying he's working hard on his game. He
Could
made
he
a lot of
fall
putts.
Ricky though and win a major and just
There's a path to Xander missing the cut. There's no path to Scotty, I'll say that.
Yeah.
dark horse pick from Wright Collins.
Dark horse pick.
Ooh.
I mean, Spieth. I'm kidding. I
mean,
Minwoo's a good one.
Sungjae, who I mean, I
Cam
just don't think
Smith.
Sungjae wins. Minwoo's a good one. That's a great question, man.
Like, I think I don't know how. Like, I haven't seen Phil hit one shot,
Thigala.
but
I think
it is
Thigala
very Phil Mickelson-esque if you just absolutely turn back the clock
No, I agree with that.
around and on the greens. Is the mental side of it there? We'll see.
What's
I
the
think
last major course we played with waste areas like this?
Tequila.
It's a great
He's a
point.
champion.
Just saying.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Frankie Capon, dark horse, could be. That'd be funny, Mr. Wall.
I like Walnut.
Yeah, my surprise this week is Cam Smith.
Thanks, Mr. Walnut.
Yeah. I'd say Cam Smith
It
probably.
It fits Cam Smith's game, man.
It really does.
Can I get odds on an Australian to finish top 10?
Put it high. There are just so many chances. Like, this is not a ball striker's paradise like I thought it was going to be. Like you can chip and putt your way
Oh yeah.
to contention
And
here.
to contention. I think at the end of the day, you're gonna have to hit some high quality golf shots.
Yeah.
But because you're gonna have to make a few birdies, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like you can't make a birdie out here. Because at some point your score is gonna have to go, not under par, but just below average. But it's gonna be one heck of a tournament, I think.
That's well said.
Yeah, it's well said. Do we have any other thoughts?
See. Yeah, relax. It'd be nice if we got a surprise. I really like to see Scotty not play well.
Want an American to win though.
It is our national open.
So it is the US Open. Be
Yeah.
cool if an American won.
No Scotty in the picture Sunday would be really cool.
I agree with that.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, see? Come on, man.
Oh, you're still up 11. I don't know, Bob. I think that's kind of all I got.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Bones told us he would take Xander and Scotty versus the field. So I guess if I had a ask, I want the field to win.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I'll take those two.
You'll take those two?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I said I'd take the field as well.
Honestly, I'm just taking Scotty. Frankly, like I genuinely think he wins this week.
I don't see that happening.
I think he misses the cut.
What? That'd be crazy.
I don't see Scotty not winning this week.
Wow.
I think there's a path.
There's a path, but it won't happen.
If he wins, he wins with ease. I think if he wins,
agreed. There is. So you brought it up a few times, Bob. There's going to be some separation on the board.
Yeah.
Like if Scotty plays his best stuff, I think he wins by 4, and I think there's probably 2 or 3 guys within 6 or 7. Like it'll be that kind of week. But I mean, they're going off in about 8 hours, so.
I mean, Tiger will be up in a couple.
Yeah, Tiger will be up shortly.
I need to get to bed. It's gonna be.
Dan and I'll be up at 7:30, laying in bed watching the USA Network. It'll be phenomenal.
That's pretty chills, actually. I'll be free.
We'll leave here at around probably 9:30, 9:45ish. We'll just chill in bed for an hour and a half or something. Enjoy.
I mean, tomorrow's the US Open. Like that's really cool.
It is pretty cool.
And we're here. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be thrusting down the highway like I have been the last couple days. Making a good time. Gotta love the North Carolina roads.
We do. We love the 70 speed limits.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, 65. 65 is such an outdated speed limit, I feel like.
No, yeah. They must get out of our way or get bent when we're on the roads.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Which we had someone do this morning, which was quite phenomenal.
I know you said that in the chat.
That was a good, did.
Yeah. But yeah, I think unless Dan has anything else.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat my Bojangles or whatever we got downstairs and head to bed for a busy day tomorrow. Speeds and contention after 2 days. Maybe we'll do something, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, I'm up for that. What'd you get from Bojangles?
I don't know. I actually don't think it was open. I think it was an audible.
Audible to where?
I don't know. I think McDonald's. I'll have to go downstairs and check.
You can't go wrong with that.
No, never.
That's America at its finest right there.
Yep. But yeah, thanks for coming on. Hopefully we'll have tons of good content today.
Heck yeah.
You can put me down for a 71 out of Mr. Speed tomorrow.
I'd sign for that.
Yep. So we'll see you tomorrow. And yeah.
Sleep well, everyone. Enjoy our national open.
Yes.
Yes.